Right. So Jefferson and Anissa both are kind of on the extreme ends of, their superhero. One, Jefferson's more MLK, and this is a little more Malcolm X. As
That's fact.
Jin is coming into her powers and, taking on lightning, where is she going to fall in that spectrum?
Oh, I think she falls somewhere in the middle. You probably expected me to say that. Because, part of her is very mature. And she understands what her father is saying about you don't kill. It's not necessary. Find other ways and all of that. But part of her also understands what Anissa is saying. And I think that she's going to switch her opinion depending on the different situations that she's in and depending how her own personal emotions are attached or not.
One of the things that Jennifer saw that really touched her was the link Odell sent her to the violence which the Maccovians did. And then to hear about it in school translated to all the other real world situations. How does Jennifer handle that, as well as how do you personally handle it mentally?
Well, you saw in the show, like you just said, it was very difficult for Jennifer. And that's why I think she's allowed herself to go against her better judgment and start working with Odell, because she knows she doesn't need to trust Odell. She knows that. And you can see it in the way that she deals with him, but he's using the humanity in her to try and turn her into his own personal weapon. So whether she's aware of that yet or not, I've been aware of it for a while, reading the scripts and knowing where it's going. And for me, it's hard. It's difficult with where this family is and the fact that they're in an occupation and they can't leave and they're stuck there. And being able to play that, it's very emotional on a daily. Very emotional.
When we talked to Christine, she said that the first time you had to work with Bill Duke, which was the last season. Yes. Can you tell us about that scene? What your reaction was?
I avoided him after that. I really did, because I was scared when he kind of crept in and we're dancing and we're doing this, and then we turn around and he's just in the living room, which has turned into his new norm. It scared me. And then the way he said the lines and he was standing in the suit, it just creeped me out. So I avoided him for a long time. But then I actually had a conversation with him and talked to him, and I was like, he's the coolest guy on planet Earth. He's just amazing at his job.
So Anissa and Jennifer right now, where things are seem to be on two very different paths, and yet they're also very close as sisters. I'm just wondering, what is the different, where they are, in the approach to the occupation, what's that going to do to their relationship as sisters in the immediate future?
God, that's a great question. Anissa is busy fighting crime as Blackbird, and that's where her heart is. And I think that Jennifer's trying to just stay under the radar as much as she possibly can. Her powers are growing. They're getting pretty painful to try and control them. So they are definitely on opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to that. But I think that it's going to bring them closer after some damage. I think that Jennifer is probably going to cause a little bit of damage. And in that, Anissa is going to realize, okay, we need to come together. We need to stop being so secretive with each other and not including each other in our plans. And we need to do this together. So hopefully that's not saying too much.
We just talked to Jordan, and he was saying that he's afraid of what would happen if Painkiller ever caught up with.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
Look, he never says it to my face.
He said he doesn't want that.
You don't want that smoke.
I want it to happen.
We all want it to happen.
I want that fight to happen.
Oh, so are you asking, is that gonna happen?
Yes.
Or how do you feel about it?
I feel great about it. I can't say whether or not I know that's gonna happen, but it's bound to happen at some point, and I think it'll be pretty soon. But Jennifer loves him. She does, and she doesn't know that he's alive right now or whatever he is, ish. But his body is alive, and his face and what she fell in love with at first is still there, and she doesn't know that yet. So when that catches up to her and she finds out that information, some stuff might go down, and it might not be too pretty.
Well, do you think that she'll be able to separate the emotional aspects from it? Because, again, like you said, she is still very much in love with him, but right now the person that he is Khalil is no more. You know, Painkiller is ruthless. He
Right.
Killed his mama.
Right. But he's also very he's very focused on pain and violence.
Right.
So he is not the same person that she knew. So do you think she'll be able to separate her emotions?
Oh yeah, definitely. And if she can at first, I think she'll be forced to, because at the end of the day, she's not gonna let anybody hurt her family or herself. You know, so by any means necessary, she's gonna keep her family safe and alive, even if that means lighting up her ex.
Let's talk about the school now. Everything has changed in Garfield with the occupation and the ASA being in there.
Right.
And even the new student with Troy Polamalu hair.
Corbin Blue.
Who, you know, breaks down that he doesn't believe all these things are really happening, but Jennifer knows. Is that going to change the environment in Garfield even more?
You mean him?
Him and Jennifer, and now her knowing all the stuff that's happening.
Oh. Yeah.
Because she sees what's happening on the outside with the Markovians and seeing what's going on, how it's martial law within the school.
I'm trying to figure out how to answer this question without giving anything away. I'll just say that not everything is what it seems right now. The audience, a lot of things are going to be revealed to the audience as the show goes on, and certain characters that kind of came out of nowhere, there's always a reason for them being there.
Okay.
I'll just say that. But yeah, the school is definitely going to continue to change, and the levels in the school are definitely going to continue to get higher.
Yeah, I feel like with Brandon specifically, like the way he approaches her, and it's like, I was told to ask you for a tour.
Right.
I'm like, no.
I have never given a tour.
Right, in his life, and I'm like,
the roughest
oh,
tour
no.
ever.
It's the realest tour.
The realest tour ever.
To the left.
My
Yeah.
dad
Right.
But I feel like the way he appeared, Odell sent him. Like it just, I feel like he's so calculated in things that, you know, he probably was sent by Odell to do some other things on the back end.
Nobody has hair that good without being exposed to it.
Look, I'm just saying, you didn't grow up here. You grew up somewhere else.
Right.
What planet are you from?
That's good conditioner.
Yeah, that's some good conditioner. I mean, yeah, first of all, that's a really great theory that you just gave. I'm not going to say whether you're right or wrong on that. But like I said, nothing is really as it seems on this show right now. And Odell has definitely sent some people to the family. But we'll have to wait and see if Brandon is one of them.
Nothing is what it seems on the show, but the show is about to move forward in a different direction. We've been talking about this big crossover. Yeah. So, we know for a fact that Jefferson has been there. We've seen the behind-the-scenes photos.
Right.
There's rumors that the daughters will be involved.
Okay, Lou, Shell's not looking at me, so I'm going to answer this question I won't. The daughters and the family are definitely going to be involved in the crossover in some sort of way. We're not going to be in the Flash episode, if that's not too much to say. But yes, here in Freeland, we're going to be dealing with the effects of Crisis of Infinite Earths.
Okay.
Yeah. And not just our family, it's going to be bigger than that. Yeah.
So you might not be in the Flash episode, but what about the other shows? Like there's other shows that I'm just going to lead into.
At San Diego, you said that it was very clear that nobody from Freeland is going to Center City, but you didn't say they weren't coming to you.
I mean,
or somebody flying over.
Look,
there are options. Like you could go to Star City.
Some white dude in the hood sneaks in with some arrows.
Look, I'm not gonna confirm or deny because I can feel Lachelle's eyes staring into the side of my head. But I will say that this event, the Crisis of Infinite Earths event, is leading to something. It's not just a crossover episode. Things are going to change after this crossover in a very big way. I'll just leave it at that.
She said, "Can I say that?"
I think I'm clear. I think I've been clear on that. All right.
Who is the biggest threat to Jennifer this season?
I'm at a crossroads between Odell and herself. I'm gonna say herself though, because in season 2, she really struggled with trying to control her powers, trying to control her emotions. And we got to a point to where it was clear that she could destroy herself if she kept going down the road that she was headed down after Khalil died and all of that stuff happened, and she was going through a really hard time. So now that her powers are continuing to grow and they're physically getting painful for her, I'm worried about how much of a danger she is to herself. So I'm gonna go with herself first and then Odell second, because he's just a sneaky little something.
We've seen the relationship between Anissa and Jefferson change now that she's an adult and she's kind of doing her thing.
Right.
Jin, it's almost, I mean, Jefferson's getting kind of strong arm because Jin's gonna have to, you know, fight. How is the relationship between Jin and Jefferson gonna change?
Oh man, I think that they're gonna get closer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the past, we've seen that the family is close, but the events that happen this season are gonna have to bring them closer, because right now she's being so secretive and it's really destructive. The road she's going down is destructive. She shouldn't be trusting Odell, and she's not trusting her family, and she's not trusting Jefferson by not telling him this information. So I think that once he finds out and everything comes to light about what she's been up to and what she's been doing behind closed doors, it's going to bring them closer. Because like I said with Anissa earlier, it's going to make him realize that he has to be closer to her.
Last question.
What was your favorite scene this whole season?
Oh, okay. My favorite scene this whole season, I didn't have to think about it, was when I flew up into space. Yes. Oh, that was so much fun to shoot. And when you're doing it, it's just green screen. So you really have to use your imagination and listen to people around you when they tell you what it's going to look like after they do all the visual effects. But after really trying to just throw myself into it and trusting people, knowing what they were going to do on their end, it turned out so well. And I was really happy with how it looked and the music and everything. I was like, go ahead, Mary Lou, with the editing. I was proud of that one. Thank you for that question.
Thank you.
Thank you.